that was a pretty special night in the NAB Cup last night, that mark you took.
Yeah, I just went down back to help out our defenders, and yeah, it's good to be able to go back and support those guys in the game.
Does that give you a bit of confidence going forward after taking a mark like that during the game?
I think, just finding my feet playing in the first game was really quick, and, Brad told me to back myself and play my role in the team as a ruckman, and yeah, that's what I did.
Bit of a thrill?
Yeah, I was really nervous early on in the game, and Brad came and spoke to me and said, just let your instincts take over and back yourself, and that's what I did, and yeah.
Can you just talk about that goal? Did you sort of think your way through what you were going to do, or how did it sort of?
I had no idea, and I just had the ball in my hands, and I was confronted with the play, and yeah, I just backed myself and wanted to kick that goal. So.
Majak, what's been the biggest focus for you over the pre-season? Have you anything specific?
I think going to my 4th year now at the club, and I've had a lot of things to work on, and I've had a big role change this year, going from a ruckman playing more as a forward, and I've worked pretty hard in the pre-season, in the running and in the gym, and just getting a lot of feedback from the coaches of how I'm going and what they want me to do, and yeah, so far so good. It's good to see the coaches giving me the opportunity.
What's the biggest adjustment going from a ruckman to playing as a key forward?
It's a lot more structured, and I'm not always, if I'm up there, I've got Drewy, Taz, and those guys, they're pretty good players, and they take pretty big marks, and I just got to learn how to work within those guys as a team, and the biggest focus is team success. So if that means I block for one of those guys for them to get the ball, then I'm happy to play my role.
Are you aiming for a round 1 spot, or what's your sort of goal?
I'm just taking it 1 week at a time at the moment. So one of my biggest goals was to get through the pre-season, and I've done that, and then get an opportunity in the NAB Cup, and I just want to build on that each week, and I haven't really looked that far ahead, but it would be nice to play round 1, but at the moment I've still got a long way to go.
What's your emotion after? Sorry. What's your emotion today, given last night is out of the way, and a lot of people have been sort of waiting for last night to come along for you to play? What are you sort of feeling right now? Is it relief or satisfaction, or?
The biggest satisfaction so far is just being part of the team, and I think we worked pretty well as a team last night, and having guys playing against guys like Boomer and Wellesley and those guys, it's really good to be out there and playing with those guys, and that's what I enjoyed the most, just having fun with them.
A lot of people are comparing you, especially the commentators, to Nick Naitanui, but also Buddy Franklin, the way you're moving and agile and fast and powerful. Just, is there any player that you sort of mimic your game on?
Both those players, I look up to them, and I want to base my game around them, but I'm no Buddy Franklin or Nick Naitanui. Those guys bona fide AFL players, and they've played a lot of games under in the system, so to compare me to those guys is, I think it's too early, and I haven't even played my first game yet.
How faster did you find it last night compared to the VFL you've played?
Yeah, it was really quick. Came off the bench a few times, and telling our strength and conditioning coaches that it's really quick out there, and it took me a while to adjust and to find my feet. But speaking to the guys after the game, they said it's only NAB Cup. Once the season comes, and gets even faster.
Do you feel like you can hold your own at this level now that you've had a taste?
Well, it's up to me now. I know what it's like, and I guess all the learning experiences I've gained in the pre-season, and hopefully play a few more NAB Cup games, and just to see where I am, where I'm at with my footy, and hopefully an opportunity to play my first game is not too far away. But I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not looking too far ahead, and I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I know where I'm at with my footy, and yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to be really passive at the moment and take each week as it comes.
What do you make of the like I guess the immense following in you, just where you've come from? You know, with last your goal has been a hit on YouTube and social media and all that sort of stuff. And what do you sort of make of that?
Oh, well, all those things are out of my control, and it's how I play my footy out there, and I can't really control what happens on YouTube and stuff. But I'm not going to get caught up in all that sort of speculation, because I've got my footy to concentrate on at the footy club, and I think if I leave what's happening out there to those people, and just not get caught up with it. So that's what I try to do, and don't really get caught up in that sort of stuff.
Can you just talk about Brad Scott was asked last night if he ever had any doubts you could make it to this level, and he said not in terms of your athletic ability and that sort of thing, but just in terms of adapting to the professional lifestyle of a footballer. That was always the big question. Can you just talk about yourself in that regard and how you've progressed over the years?
Well, I've had a lot of people work closely with me, especially Brad, our strength and conditioning guys. Some of the players like Drew Petrie, Brent Harvey. They've worked pretty close with me, and I've come a long way in terms of my professionalism, doing everything to the best of my ability. And now I'm starting to see, the progress that the progress of the hard work that I've done so far. But I mean, it's only a small step in terms of what those guys have been through. Boomer's going to his 17th season this year, and I think it's so hard already. But Boomer just comes to the club, does everything to the best of his ability, day in, day out, and I've just got to try and be like those guys and just get as much feedback as I can off them.
So you did play NAB Cup games a couple of years ago, is that right?
Yeah.
How much different did you feel sort of going into last night compared to
I knew I was more prepared this time around. Back at the time, I think I may have played 40% game time, and my body wasn't strong enough to be able to run out the game. But it's pleasing that I can have an impact in the game, and I expect more of myself now that I've set the standard for me personally.
I just want to ask you that whenever you're mentioned, it's inevitably mentioned that you're the first Sudanese-born AFL player. Do you like sort of being mentioned in that way, or how do you feel about sort of representing the whole country in a way?
Well, I don't think I have a choice. I mean, I am Sudanese, and I'm pretty proud of it, and it doesn't really matter if I get mentioned as a Sudanese or not. I live in Australia, but I'm always happy to refer back to where I come from. I'll never forget that. So yeah.
Have you had much feedback from family and close friends and your community?
Mum and Dad came to the game last night. I spoke to them briefly, but I haven't really had a chance, to be honest. Just went to the club last night, recovery, and this morning, bit of recovery, and here today, family day. So yeah, still a bit tired.
You had a look at the replay of the goal?
No, I haven't had a chance. I was pretty tired last night. Went to sleep, and yeah, I mean, I've just got to move on now and focus on getting my body right and hopefully putting my name up there for next week.
Have you got someone inside or outside the club who you can go to, like a confidant, a mentor, someone to critique your game for you, to tell you how you're going?
Our ruck coach at the footy club, Alex Sashenko, he's a pretty honest person, and I've worked closely with him, and even Brad, some of our development coaches, but Alex Sashenko in particular, he tells me what he thinks, and he's had a lot to do with me in my development so far. So yeah, I go to him a fair bit for some feedback.
What was his verdict from last night?
He's pretty happy about the way I went, and he said it's only a small stepping stone, but I've still got a long way to go, and I know that within myself. So